Hi, my name is Hun Sen, and I am the founder and president of Save Cambodia. And I am here to tell you 5 things you need to know about the upcoming Khmer advocacy activities post-Universal Periodic Review on Cambodia that recently took place on May 8th in Geneva. Starting with 1. The United Nations greatly assisted Khmer advocacy work through a variety of activities, statements, and forums focused on Cambodia. They have led the way by A. Issuing findings related to the lead-up to the 2023 national elections, concluding the election could not be considered free, fair, or legitimate because of the long-standing and extensive nature of Hun Manet, Hun Sen human rights, democracy, and rule of law abuses, including the elimination of opposition political parties, the closing down of independent media outlets, and the criminal prosecution through mass criminal trials of critics of the government. B. Developing and issuing a United Nations action plan of reform measures, spelling out the detailed steps that had to be taken by the Hun Sen Hun Manet government before the political process to be considered free and fair. C. Conducting the May 8, 2024 Universal Periodic Review session on Cambodia's extensive human rights abuses. 2. Using Amnesty International as a model, the Khmer community developed and put in place a number of new and highly creative advocacy tools that took advantage of and built upon the United Nations Advocacy Opportunities and forums. These included A. An urgent action alert system bringing attention and mobilizing community action in support of major situation of abuse. And B. A series of issue-oriented Khmer casts, virtual forums bringing attention to key issues like the long-overlooked problem of land grabs and illegal evictions, using the latest virtual methods and technologies to help generate interest and involvement. 3. The Khmer community's advocacy efforts must not and should not end with the conclusion of the United Nations May 8th Universal Periodic Review. We have a great deal of work that remains to be done, especially given that the sad reality that Hun Manet has chosen to continue and even to increase the level of human rights abuses carried out by his father, Hun Sen. We must move forward with new and creative advocacy efforts. Four, prime opportunities for new advocacy opportunities have recently been presented to us by several new development of major significance and potential impact, including A, the Amnesty International November 2023 report called No One Wants to Leave Their Home, that provided alarming and thorough documentation of what Amnesty calls mass illegal evictions by the Cambodian government of over 10,000 families of long-standing residents from the 113 traditional villages in the Angkor Wat Heritage Site region, in direct violation of the protections including in the government's Heritage Site Agreement with UNESCO. B. Establishment of a major naval base by China in Cambodia in direct violation of the provisions Cambodian Constitution and the Paris Peace Accords. C. Hun Manet's doubling down on his father's widespread human rights and democracy abuses, including the UN voicing strong criticism of Cambodia's Supreme Court for allowing the jailing of those criticizing the government. And 5. The mistaken false hope proposal to legitimize what the UN criticized as the questionable hereditary appointment of Hun Manet to succeed his father as prime minister in return for promised reforms which never materialized, a repeat of past policies of accommodation with Hun Sen that did not work effectively. So where does the Khmer community go from here? How do we strategically build our next steps for our advocacy work that builds effectively on the past 2-year efforts of both the United Nations and the Khmer community working in closer cooperation together? We have been given important signals about how to move forward effectively from Amnesty International's new report on land evictions and the important information coming in on the legal development of Chinese military bases in Cambodia. What are your views, taking into account as a foundation the past 2 years of effective advocacy work by both the UN and the Khmer community? You are the most critical component and participant in this advocacy work. It is your active involvement and support that demonstrates the strength and importance of the advocacy work, or why the international community or why the Cambodian government must pay attention to our concerns and complaints that we are raising. So join us by speaking truth to power in a forceful and effective way and in promoting meaningful human rights progress for Cambodia.